Felix, and basically I'm going to be talking to you about the 3 types of online attacks by Miko Opponent. Basically, a little bit of background information on Miko Opponent. There's not too much information, but something that I did take from him was that he was the inventor of several patents, including the U.S. patent for a computer virus screen. So that's a little background. But I want to start off with the question, how safe do you actually feel when you use the internet or when you use a computer, whether you're not on the internet or you're on the internet? Do you even know the 3 types of attackers that you may be attacked with? So let's start off with that. But I want to backtrack to the 1980s for a little bit of foundation. Back in the 1980s in Eastern Communist Germany, if you purchased a typewriter, you were told that you had to register with the government. It's pretty basic. All you had to do was print out something like a sample text and submit it to the government, and basically in doing so, government can keep track of certain thoughts. So if I bought a typewriter back then and I typed, I want to kill the president, and they found that paper, they can track it back to that typewriter. But in the western part, like towards the US, we had a different view. We thought more of, oh, that's against violation of freedom of speech. However, today, if you purchase a laser printer and you print out a page, each page has its own distinct coding of tiny yellow dots and unique to that printer, so they can easily track it back that way. In doing so, government basically has a way to use technology against us. And but that's something I'm going to talk about later. And furthermore, now we can talk about the 3 types of online attackers. The first group, the online criminals, it's pretty basic. All they want is money. They're money hungry. It's pretty easy to understand. For example, they can illegally, using Trojans, they can log into your banking information and steal your banking money. It's pretty big, stealing money. The other one is keyloggers. Basically, you know, your online shopping for some new shoes, some high heels, or a dress, or whatever, or a nice dress shirt. And basically, they get your credit card information, and through that, they can get money as well. And it's sad to think that most crimes are actually more online than in real life. Some examples, the first guy, top left, Mr. Dmitry Garland, he's considered one of the godfathers in Eastern Europe for card theft. The one in the bottom is Alfred Gonzalez, and he was part of one of the biggest cyber thefts in the United States history. And then the third one on the very right is Stephen Watt, and he basically became a millionaire with his idea of get rich or die trying. And it's crazy to think. The top one, top left, yeah, he has a few years on him in age, but Alfred and Scott, the bottom, and then the right, they're pretty young, they're in their 20s, so, and they're millionaires. Of course they got caught, but you know. The next type of attackers, they're called hacktivists. Basically, they're motivated by the laughter from the attention they get online, the opinions of people, and then they're basically protesters. They protest online. And they're completely different from our first attackers who are money hungry. A perfect example is a group called Anonymous. That's kind of like the little logo thing, Anonymous. We are Legion. They originated in 2003, and ever since they've just been increasing. And they're pretty major. The third one, like I talked about at the beginning of my presentation briefly, is nation-states government, basically. Prime examples in Germany, they found state Trojans, which basically lets government investigate what you're doing on your computer or anything like that. Pretty basic. If you're a suspect of a crime, yeah, they might tap into your cell phone or something, tap into your phone. That's pretty basic understanding. However, today, they go beyond just the phone tap. Governments can use tools like state Trojans to tap into internet connections. They can listen to online discussions, and then they can even collect your passwords. So it gets pretty up there. It's just doesn't feel safe at all. The basic reactions, like, yeah, you feel like they can basically see anything you're doing at any time if they really wanted to, which doesn't seem very comforting. So it seems to become a matter of privacy being implied rather than discussed, and is thus no longer a question of privacy and security, and more of a question of freedom against control. So I leave you with the question, with everything that I said about the online attacking. How safe do you truly feel when you're on the internet, or just even on the computer by yourself?